Walk into a forest. What do you see? Trees, flowers, moss. A silent, passive, green backdrop for the real drama of life, acted out by animals and humans. We see plants as things, objects, beautiful, perhaps, but fundamentally inert. They don't move, they don't make a sound, they don't seem to do anything. But what if this silence is not emptiness? What if it's a form of consciousness so alien to our own, we simply fail to recognize it? Recent scientific discoveries are beginning to paint a disturbing and profound picture. The silent green world around us might be aware. It might learn, remember, communicate, and even feel. And if that's true, it means we have been living amongst intelligent, alien life forms all along, and we never even noticed. Let's start beneath the soil. For decades, we thought trees were isolated individuals, competing for sunlight and resources. We were wrong. The forest is not a collection of trees. It's a single vast superorganism, connected by an intricate subterranean network of fungal threads. Scientists call it the mycorrhizal network, but a more fitting name is the Wood Wide Web. This network acts as a nervous system for the entire forest. Through it, trees share resources. A mother tree, a giant in the canopy, can send carbon and nutrients down through its roots, through the fungal web, to its shaded seedlings struggling below. It can even identify its own kin. But it's more than just a nutrient pipeline. It's an information highway. When a tree is attacked by aphids, it doesn't just suffer in silence. It sends a distress signal through the Wood Wide Web. It releases chemical hormones into the network, warning its neighbors of the impending threat. The nearby trees receive this message and, in response, begin to produce chemicals in their leaves that make them taste bitter and indigestible to the insects. They raise their shields before the battle even begins. Think about that. This is communication, a coordinated, forest-wide defense system. It's a slow, chemical conversation, but it's a conversation nonetheless. And where there is communication, there is often a degree of intelligence. But what about individual plants? Can a single plant learn? Consider the humble Mimosa pudica, the sensitive plant. As you know, its leaves dramatically fold up when touched. Scientists designed an experiment. They repeatedly dropped the plant from a short height. At first, it folded its leaves in alarm with every drop, but after 5 or 6 drops, it realized the fall was harmless and stopped reacting. It had learned. The shocking part? Even after a month of rest, the plant remembered. When dropped again, it didn't fold its leaves. It had formed a long-term memory. And here's the paradox. It did this without a single neuron, without a brain. This challenges the very definition of memory and learning. How can you remember without a brain? It suggests that consciousness may not be confined to a central processing unit, but can be a distributed, systemic property. The tip of a single plant root is a marvel of biological engineering. It can sense and continuously monitor at least 20 different physical and chemical parameters: gravity, light, moisture, nutrients, toxins, vibrations. Darwin himself was the first to propose that the tip of the root acts like the brain of a lower animal. It navigates the soil with incredible precision, making complex decisions. And plants don't just feel their environment. They can see. They don't have eyes, but they have photoreceptors all over their bodies. They can differentiate between red, blue, far red, and UV light. They know when you are near. A plant can tell if another plant is next to it because it can sense the specific shadow it casts. It will then actively change its growth pattern to compete for light. This is not a passive process. It is an active, competitive, and strategic response. And perhaps, most bizarrely of all, plants may be able to hear. Researchers have recorded the clicking sounds emitted by the roots of corn seedlings. More incredibly, when they played sounds at a specific frequency, 220 Hz, the seedling's roots would bend and grow towards the source of the sound. Other studies have shown that plants exposed to the sound of running water will grow their roots towards it, even if there is no actual moisture present. They can hear the water. They can even distinguish between the buzz of a friendly bee and the munching sound of a hungry caterpillar, priming their chemical defenses only for the latter. Now, let's zoom out. Let's put all these pieces together. A forest that communicates through a neural network, individual plants that learn and remember, roots that act like brains, bodies that see and hear. What does this paint a picture of? It paints a picture of a distributed, collective consciousness, a slow, ancient, alien intelligence. A single tree may live for thousands of years. It witnesses the rise and fall of civilizations. What kind of memories might it hold in its rings, in its very cellular structure? The forest remembers. The forest feels. The forest acts. We just operate on such a fast, frantic timescale that we can't perceive its deliberate, glacial-paced intelligence. This isn't just a beautiful, romantic idea. It can also be terrifying. If plants are aware, what does that mean for us? We clear-cut entire forests, mow our lawns, pull weeds. We treat the plant world as an infinite, unfeeling resource to be exploited. What if, from the plant's perspective, we are a rampaging, monstrous force, a mindless plague that destroys their world without reason or communication? The paradox of plant consciousness forces us to confront our own arrogance, our belief that intelligence must look like our intelligence, that consciousness must be contained in a brain, operate at the speed of electricity, and express itself with sound and motion. We have been searching for alien life in the stars, while living on a planet teeming with it. The next time you walk through a forest, or even tend to a plant on your windowsill, try to be quiet. Try to listen, not with your ears, but with your awareness. You are not alone. You are in the presence of an ancient, silent, and profoundly intelligent form of life. And acknowledging that might be the first step in learning how to truly communicate with our world and understanding our place within it. The conversation has been happening for millions of years. It's time we started to pay attention.